This is question 5 on page 106, grade B rated. It says in each of the following pairs of diagrams, decide whether the shapes shown are similar or whether they're not similar. Well, we've got to look at all the corresponding lengths, and if they're in the same ratio, then they're similar. So let's take a look. I've got a 9:3, so let's just check this one out. I'll go 9:3, and I've got a 6:3, yeah, height and height. Well, 6:3. Let's simplify down. That becomes 3:1, and that becomes dividing both sides by 3. 3. I said 3, but I didn't want to write 3. That becomes 2:1, and therefore not similar. Is that okay? Because 3:1 is not the same as 2:1, so they're not. All the corresponding sides, in fact, are not in the same ratio. Therefore, not similar. That's that one. Same with this one. I want to work with the 12 and the 18, so let's try and fit it here. So 12 to 18, and I've got to compare that with 28 to 32. See if I can trim it down. Well, 6's going a little bit, don't they? 6 is going twice, and 6 goes in 3 times. What goes into 28? 7 goes in there, doesn't it? 7 goes in there 4 times. 7 goes into 32, does it? I bet it doesn't. Let me just take a look at that. 32 divided by 7. Of course it doesn't. It's terrible. Let's think of something else. I might try a different technique actually. If we have enlargements, then I can have 18 divided by 12. So I'll put this large one over its corresponding small one. Should be the same as, and I'll change colour for this, should be the same as 32 divided by his corresponding smaller side. And we'll see if we get the same answer. It's another way to do it, isn't it? So let's just do 32 divided by 28. They're probably not similar. Yeah, that's 1.1428. That's terrible. And this one's going to be 18 divided by 12. 1.5. Yeah, didn't think it was going to work. So essentially, judging by the 12 to 18, that will be the enlargement of times 1.5. If I look at the red lengths, the larger lengths, 28 up to 32, that's an enlargement of 1.1428. Therefore, they're not the same, not similar. Okay. Notice how I changed technique there. If I can simplify ratios easily and compare them, fine. If I can't readily do that because the numbers are difficult and obviously doesn't yield a very pleasant scale factor, then I'm going to use a different technique here. Now, what about this one here? Now, the 4 should relate to the 4.5 in enlargement, and the height, which is this one, is 5, and the height, which is this one, is 4.625. Well, I'm not enjoying decimals very much, so what I'm going to do is use this division technique. So let's just take a look. I've got 4.5 divided by 4, just get that as a potential answer. That gives me 1.125. In other words, an enlargement by 1 1/8, because 0.125 is an eighth. And let's see if it works for this one as well. Let's go to red. So I'm going to go 5.625 and divide that by the smaller height 5. We're hoping to get 1.125. If we do, then we have similar shapes. It's 5.625. Divide that by 5. Oh, and I've got it. There you go. If you can see that on the machine. Alright, I've got 1.125, and therefore the similar. And the last lot, I've got 3 with the 12, so 3 and 12. Well, straight away that looks like a times 4, doesn't it? And I've got 5 to 15. Well, that's just times 3. Straight away they're not similar. 2.5 to 7.5. Well, that's 3 times as big. So that works with that one on times 3. That works with a 15 on times 3. But 3 3s are not 12. But you need to prove it anyway. In the same way. 12 divided by 3 is 4, different colour. Let's do the 7.5 and the 2.5. That goes in there 3 times exactly. So straight away I've proved it doesn't work, and we'll do a green I think here. Hope it stands out. Anyway, it's going to be 15 over 5, that's 3. Well, I've got one enlargement of 3, another enlargement of 3, and an enlargement of 4. If I've given 3 sets of lengths, and I have to test it out with each corresponding pair, I've got to score 3 out of 3. Otherwise, you know, it's not going to be correct or accurate or believable. So the conclusion is not similar. Alright? Right, quick review before we close off this video. If you can simplify the ratios quite simply and make valid comparisons, e.g. that and that, do so. Clearly not similar. If the numbers are difficult to manipulate, and besides it's unit 3, you've got a calculator, just divide the corresponding length and see how that compares with that one. If they're the same, great. Similar, if they're not the same, then simply the shapes are not similar. That is not the enlargement to the smaller one. Yeah, you've got this square base pyramid here, clearly so. This worked out perfectly well, enlargement of 1.125, and here we score 2 goes out of 3. We needed 3 out of 3 since we're given 3 sets of corresponding lengths to consider. Didn't work out for one of them, and therefore the L-shaped question D here is not similar. So that's the end of that. Now, next time you hear me and see me like this, I'll be doing some grade A questions, and that will require you to probably review the first video I did when I introduced these grade A ideas. Alright, I'll leave that to you, and I'll see you very soon.